Alright, today we are going to talk about angles and lines. In order to be successful in geometry, we talked about memorizing and learning all of your vocab. This vocabulary was introduced to you in the YouTube video that you watched last week, but now we're actually going to go through step by step and talk about all the different vocabulary words that you had to do for the chapter. First off, you see here two lines. We could call this line L and line M. What is special about line L and line M? They are, Quamir? Very good. So up here, if I write it, you write it. Line L and line M are parallel lines. Can anybody define that for me? What does it mean to be a parallel line? What does it mean to be a parallel line? Jaden?
That they'll never intersect.
Very good. And then in the box right here, please make sure you write this as well. This means line L is parallel to M. This is the symbol for parallel. So we have two parallel lines here. We are going to cut them by another line. Does anybody know what that's called, the line that we cut parallel lines with? This line has a name. Omri. A vertex is a point in an angle. Jordan?
I forget what it's called. I know it's the line that cuts through.
Yeah, that line that cuts through. A transversal. Good. So we are going to call this a transversal. The definition of a transversal: a line that intersects parallel lines and 8 angles are formed. So this right here is our transversal. It intersects line L right there. It intersects line M right there at that point. Once this transversal is here, it forms 8 angles. We are only going to label 4 of them to focus on to start. We're going to focus on 1, 2, 7, and 8. Alright, so today looking at this transversal, in this picture, the transversal has a left side of the transversal and a right side of the transversal. So we're going to write that. Here's our left side of the transversal. And over here we have the right side of the transversal. We are going to use the transversal to classify our angles. That's part of it. And we're also going to use our parallel lines when we talk about our angles. So as you can see here, parallel lines L and M, there's these angles, 1, 2, 7, and 8. Are they interior or exterior? 1, 2, 7, and 8. Compared to the parallel lines, are 1, 2, 7, and 8 interior or exterior? Adriana? Exterior. Very good. So they're exterior. I sometimes think of parallel lines as my sandwich. So here's my bread, and then inside here, the interior is all the food. Okay, what I'm going to eat. So these angles right here, 1, 2, 7, and 8, are exterior. They're on the outside. Okay, they're on the exterior. Miss Cardamone said you could think about it like a car. Okay, this is your car. You can draw a line down in connecting the parallel lines. This is the interior of the car. Those are the angles on the inside. And then these are the angles on the outside, or the exterior.
So outside the car, and then these ones would be inside.
Alright. The first word we're going to talk about is alternate, and write the words just like I am. Alternate exterior angles. What does alternate mean? What does it mean to alternate? Good, back and forth. So back and forth, going back and forth between something. So alternate in this case is, are you on the left side of the transversal or the right side? That's what we're going to use as our point for alternate. Left or right of the transversal. Exterior means what? Outside, and in this case, the outside of the parallel lines. Good, Hannah. Outside of parallel lines. Alright, so alternate is left or right, and then exterior is outside of the parallel lines. So I'm going to look at angle 1, and please highlight it, pick one of your colors. Angle 1. Let's describe angle 1. Describe angle 1. It is to the what of the transversal? Left of the transversal. And is it interior or exterior? Exterior. So now we want to find the alternate angle that's still an exterior angle. So angle 1 is on the left. Which one of these is on the right? 8 or 7? 7 is the alternate exterior angle. So they are actually equal to each other because alternate exterior angles are equal to each other. So I'm going to write this statement. The measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 7. The measure of angle 2, using my other highlighter, is equal to the measure of angle 8. This M, so that you remember what that means, stands for the measure. And this symbol right here stands for angle. 1 and 7 are alternate exterior angles, and they are equal to each other. Alright, so parallel lines are not always horizontal, like L and M here. Let's look at example number 2. These lines are also parallel. Why are they parallel? Because I'm telling you they're parallel. Okay, I'm telling you that line A is parallel to line B. Now I'm going to cut it by a different transversal. This transversal does not have a left and a right, but it has an above and below. So sometimes you can form alternate exterior angles. And the alternate means above and below. And exterior still means what? Outside of the parallel lines. Good, Jackie. Outside of parallel lines. So I'm going to number these 1, 3, 6, and 8. They are all exterior because they're outside of the parallel lines. Alternate means they're above and below. Now I need to figure out what is equal to angle 1. Which angle is equal to angle 1? Haley. Very good. So these are alternate exterior angles because they're equal, and one is above the transversal, one is below the transversal. So we have the measure of angle 1 is equal to the measure of angle 8. We also have the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 6. I think I'm going to highlight these as well so I see the statement over here showing what equals what. Alright, so now we have 2 more lines down here in our third example. I'm going to call this one A and this one J. I am telling you the statement. I am telling you that line A is parallel to line J. Another way you might see that is A, and that's the symbol for parallel, to J. Usually you'll find a statement like this written in the directions. Sometimes the book might use bold arrows showing you that these lines are parallel. So write that as well. So you can see sometimes you might have 2 bold arrows and that indicates parallel lines. So there's many different ways. In the direction it might write out the statement, line A is parallel to line J. Sometimes it'll use these symbols, and other times it might use bold arrows.
But either way, it will tell you if 2 lines are parallel, either in directions of the symbols. You can't just assume 2 lines are parallel.
Now I want to form my angles, so I'm going to cut it with what? What is that line that I'm going to cut with, Adriana? What'd you say? Close. Transversal. Alright, so here I go, and I just cut it with transversal. We'll call that M. Okay, so we have M is our transversal. I'll even write transversal above it. That's transversal M. This time I'm going to label 3, 5, 4, and 6. Are 3, 5, 4, and 6 exterior? Interior. So now we're going to move to the second vocab word, which is alternate interior angles. Alternate in this case would mean left or right of the what? Left or right of what? The transversal. Interior means inside the parallel lines. And now we need to figure out our congruency statements. Congruent, equal, 3, and what? 4. They are alternate interior angles. 5 and 6 are alternate interior angles. Why is this important? Because they are equal to each other. Measure of angle 3 equals the measure of angle 4. Measure of angle 5 equals the measure of angle 6. Alternate interior angles are equal to each other. Our goal in this lesson is to be able to identify and figure out missing angles. You might have 8 angles. We're going to tell you 1. And you're going to be able to figure out the other 7. Yes. Alright, now flip your paper over. You'll know that you're holding it the right way because you should see page number 2. So write page 2 at the bottom. Then we're focusing on that picture at the top. Page 2 should be written at the bottom. We are going to cut these parallel lines by transversal T. Straight across. We'll do a horizontal line here. I'm going to cut this by transversal T. I'm going to form angle 2, angle 4, angle 5, and angle 7. 2, 4, 5, and 7 are all what kind of angles? Interior angles. They are all inside, interior. They are inside the parallel lines. This time it's not left and right of the transversal, but again it's above and below. So alternate, meaning above or below. Interior, inside the parallel lines. And these are all angles. Angle 2 is equal to 7. Angle 4 is equal to 5. Let's write the statement. The measure of angle 2 equals the measure of angle 7. Measure of angle 4 equals the measure of angle 5. Alright, let's put this all together. Right here I'm telling you that I have lines M and N. And M is parallel to N. And then we have transversal, we'll say P. And transversal P is going to cut like this. I'm going to label that transversal P. It forms 8 angles. Angle 1, angle 2, angle 3, angle 4, angle 5, angle 6, angle 7, and angle 8. What we're going to do now is put all of our vocabulary together. Alternate interior, alternate exterior. Vertical angles from our graffiti today. And supplementary angles from last week. And with all of that together, we should be able to figure out all the missing angles. So, Amina, pick a number, 1 to 8. 2? Alright, so the only thing I'm going to tell you is that angle 2 is 70 degrees. So to the left of this picture, make a list. Measure of angle 1 equals, measure of angle 2 equals, and so on. So that you can write the angle measures off to the side. You can also write it on the picture, but you can put your final answers in the list off to the side. So she chose 2, and I said that that was 70 degrees. So now it's time to use some vocabulary. Angle 2. Ryan, is angle 2 interior or exterior? Interior, good. So what is the alternate interior angle to angle 2? 3 is an exterior. So I want to find alternate interior. So, Isaiah.
7.
Good. 2 and 7 are alternate interior angles. They are both inside the parallel lines. So 2 and 7 are both 70 degrees. Now, what's special about angle 7 and angle 6? What's special about angle 7 and angle 6? Sky? Very good. And vertical angles are equal to each other. So if 7 is 70, 6 is also 70 degrees. Now let's look at 6. Is this interior or exterior?
Exterior.
Exterior. What's the alternate exterior of 6? Omri? 3. So 3 is also 70 degrees. So we just used alternate interior angles for vocab, alternate exterior, and vertical angles. Now I need someone to tell me angle 1 and angle 2. What's special about angle 1 and angle 2? They're adjacent, very good. And what do we know about these two adjacent angles, angle 1 and angle 2? They make up 180. Very good. So angle 1 plus angle 2 has to equal 180. So I'll write that over here. Angle 1 plus angle 2 has to equal 180 degrees, which is called supplementary. Angle 1 is what we're trying to find. Angle 2 is 70. How much is angle 1? 110 degrees. Tatiana, what's special about 1 and 4? What kind of angles are they? Very good. And vertical angles are equal or congruent. What's special about 4 and 5? Maya, what's special about 4 and 5? They're not vertical, they're alternate. Are they inside the parallel or outside? Good. So 4 and 5 are equal because they are alternate interior. So 5 is also 110. And then Gavin, 5 and 8 are what kind of angles? Vertical. So that is 110. And now we're going to make a list of everything we know. So we have all the measures over here, but now we're going to kind of make like a vocabulary list. Alternate exterior angles, what are they? Who can name a set of alternate exterior angles? Maureen.
1 and 8.
Very good. So angle 1 equals angle 8. And the other set, Jaden? 5 and 4 are interior. We're on exterior. So 1 and 8 are exterior, 3 and 6. Now we're going to write alternate interior angles. And the alternate interior angles? Mikkel, what's a set of alternate interior angles? Two and what's angle 2 equal to? Angle 2 and angle 7. Angle 4 equals angle 5. So we have our alternate interior, alternate exterior. The next list I'd like to make is vertical angles. Name a set of vertical angles. Alyssa. One and 4. Good. And they're equal to each other. Jackie. Angle 7 and angle 6 are vertical. Vertical means they have to share a vertex. Angle 5 and 8. 2 and 3. And the last set of angles that were important in figuring out and solving this problem were supplementary angles. And what do they add up to? They have to equal 180 degrees. Angle 1 plus angle 2 equals 180. Angle 1 plus angle 3 equals 180. 2 plus 4 equals 180. Angle 2, angle 4 is 180. Angle 3 and angle 4 is also 180. Moving on to the next set over here. 5 and 6 are 180. 5 and 7 are 180. 7 and 8. 6 and 8. So that is quite an extensive list of all the angles based on vocabulary. You will need these notes for your homework tonight. You do need to understand how to describe these. And the last example you're going to do on your own. In the last example, you can see that we have parallel lines headed down and to the right. We're going to cut them with this transversal right here. A vertical line for the transversal. I have 1, 2, 3, and 4. 5, 6, 7, 8. We're going to make our list over to the side. Divine's going to tell me her favorite number between 1 and 8. 4. Angle 4 is 55 degrees. Figure out all the other angles on your own and stand up when you are done.